to my channel. I'm Maycha'al Osharal, and I'm so very, very happy to have you. Welcome to Truth Matters Broadcasting, where we discern the truth about religion, the kingdom of the highest power, and of course, the church. If you're joining me here live on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, thank you for joining. I appreciate you guys a lot. Please go check out my channel, Now Living in the Philippines. Now Living in the Philippines. You see, I'm broadcasting live from the Philippines. So check out my channel, Now Living in the Philippines. Please help us to get to around 7,000 subscribers. For the last month, or I would say month, maybe 3 weeks or so, I have not been posting because I've been so busy. We just came back from Kakasakot. For those who don't understand what that means, it's at the Feast of Tabernacle. We were gathered in the wilderness and lived in tent for 8 days, and it was beautiful. It was so beautiful. It was an amazing experience. We've lit our altar. We built an altar and we lighted up. It was wonderful. We give our grain offerings where we mix with the flour and the olive oil, and it was beautiful. It just was just so beautiful to witness something of our past, of our culture, of ancient times coming back to us in these here modern times. It's beautiful to see. It was amazing. The experience was amazing too, because you try to practice some of the laws. And it's amazing. I said some of the laws because you can't do all the laws. And you know why you can't do all the laws? Because some of the laws require the tabernacle to be built. Without the tabernacle, guess what? You can't practice fully some of these laws. So you have to, and that's why we say practice, because we are actually practicing these laws. We're practicing, we're getting ready. Because you see, the tabernacle, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be rebuilt. I don't know about you, but uh most of Christendom and most people are looking for an end time. In every religion there's an end time. Most people are looking for the coming of Jesus Christ to flow from heaven, stop in the air, the dead in Christ rise, and those who are alive caught up in the air and forever live in heaven with the Lord. At least that's what we thought, and that's what we believe when we became Christians. I don't know about you, but I was a Christian. I was born and raised up in churches. So Christianity was part of my thing until I come to start questioning things. You see, being a Christian, you don't really learn to question things. Being a Christian, you accept things by faith, by faith. But when you really take a step and look at what faith is literally instructions. It is instructions received, accept, believe, believed, and is carried out. That's what faith is. It's understanding the instructions, comprehend the instructions, and acting on that instructions. That's what faith is. That's why the Creator always used, if you obey my voice and do my covenant, then, watch this. Again, we hear this a lot, right? We hear this a lot. He says, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from the wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and heal their land. But there's another part to that. It's all about its laws. It's all about the instructions. But my point here, even in that little piece that they will share with you, is the instruction. If my people will humble themselves, right, and pray and turn from their wicked ways and seek my face, these are instructions. You got to do these things. These are things that you have to do. Yes, blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have rights to the tree of life, that they may enter into the gate into the city, you see, because outside are the dogs. So it's something you have to do, ladies and gentlemen. Getting excited, dropping my phone here. All right, so if you're just joining me, my name is Maycha'al Ban Aaron of Ya'al. Some of you know me as Maycha'al Ban Aaron or Maycha'al Ban Ya'al, because that's how I introduce myself. But I recently found out that I am a son of Aaron, which makes me a priest. It makes sense. When you look at my family tree of my family line, they were either voodoo, heavily steep into Obeah, because I'm from Jamaica, heavily steep into Obeah, or clergymen. So the priesthood runs in my family on both sides of the fence, whether it's be Obeah, what we call Obeah voodoo, or clergymen, pastors, and preachers. And I always knew in my heart that I want to be one who delivers the message. And my goal was to always want to bring believers in a greater understanding of who the creator is and who we are as a people. And because, the creator says, if my people who are called by my name. So he's specific that he has a people on the planet. He is specific, ladies and gentlemen. The creator has a people. Let's put it this way. He has a bloodline on the family. He has a bloodline on the earth. And if you don't think that is true, look and see who is running the world right now. Who is ruling the world? Who has the power in the world right now? The power in the world or in the world economy are run by bloodlines. That's why I titled this one The Ultimate Power. The Ultimate Power. This is going to be perfect for you, especially if you're just joining me for the first time. This is going to be perfect because you have to understand how the world is run. We Jamaicans say, I Rasta run the world. Go tell them, I Rasta run the world. Go oxy Jerry, boys. They want go oxy Jerry. Right? Somebody's running the world. And you don't need eyes to see that there's a bloodline families that are running the economy. Bloodline. There are 21 families, bloodline family members that runs our little island of Jamaica. And they're all of European descendants. You see? And not to talk about America, the Rothschild, the Bilderbergs, and all of them, et cetera, et cetera. Not to mention that all the presidents of the world are related in some shape or form, are connected to a society, our secret society, through an illumination of a higher or of a deity. You must understand that everything that is run on the planet is run through the belief system of a deity. You must understand the simplicity of these things. If you don't, you're going to be held in confusion. And so, let me make a broad statement for you. For those who are interested, because you know what? The creator is not interested in the world at large. You know that? The creator is not interested in the world at large. He owns the world and everything in it. But the world at large does not worship the creator. And that once you understand these fundamentals, you're going to now be put in the right track, on the right track for a greater understanding, and will be able to receive information. Are you ready? Come on now. If you're ready now, let's get it. Let's get it, because that's why I'm here. All right, so let me make some broad statement. And I try to make these broad statement in every broadcast because I want my viewers to understand the simplicity of truth. And so the first understanding, the first thing I want to share with you is this: no government on earth worship the creator. Listen to me and hear what I'm saying. No government on earth worship the creator. That's number one. Number two, no nation on earth, planet earth, that worships the Creator. No nation. Watch this. No kingdoms on earth, no matter what the monarchy. No kingdoms on earth worship the Creator. That's why when the Messiah came, he preached the message clearly: repent, for the kingdom of heaven is here. You see, the kingdom of heaven is here. The rulership and authority of heaven is now on earth. It's here. He brought that message. That's the only message he preached. You know, he never preached baptism to the masses. If you were to really look at it, the Messiah never preached baptism to the masses. He preached it to one guy, Nicodemus, and he commanded his disciples to do baptism, though he himself never baptized anyone, right? Only the disciples. Even Judas was baptized, who later on betrays the Messiah, right? He never preached the kingdom of heaven to the world. He never preached the kingdom of heaven to the world. Now, how do I know this? And one can't make the statement because he says, only you I sent. It's written there. You can go Google it. The Messiah himself says, I was sent only. Only means single, one. Only to the lost sheep of Yahusha, aka Israel. So he didn't preach the kingdom to the world. He brought the kingdom, but not to the world. Now, this kingdom that he brought and teach comes from Daniel 2, Nebuchadnezzar's dream. I mean, the kingdom comes from Genesis 1, really, and Genesis 2, really, because the Creator gave kingdom or dominion to man. We were to run this world. We were to rule it under the authority of the great highest power. We were to rule the world. And we were never to rule men. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. We were never to rule man. Man was never made to rule other men. Man was never made to be king over other men. We had one ruler, and that was the Creator himself. We were made to rule animals and fishes of the seas and birds of the air and creepy crawly things. We were to have dominion over them. That is why the Creator allowed us to name the animals. And anything that has your name, you have rulership over, lordship over, ownership of. Anything you name, anything you get to name, you own. That's why, the iPhone company put their name on this, even though if you were to really do some research on the iPhone itself, you realize that the iPhone system of operation comes from Android. How many people know that? You think about it. Remember back in the days when you have your phone, you connect your phone to Verizon or Sprint or or T-Mobile or all in. Did you know that all these companies like Sprint and Verizon and T-Mobile, Sprint and T-Mobile and all these other companies came off the tower of Verizon? How many people know these things? How many people know these things? Not many people know these things. You see, information is power. The ultimate power is within the ultimate Creator who gives the ultimate information. And he only chose a few people to get it. It's not for the whole world. The world doesn't worship the Creator. So, with that said, let's get back to religion. This is number 4. No religion on earth worships the Creator. No religion on earth worships the Creator. I have to strong arm these points, ladies and gentlemen. I have to. Yeah. No religion on earth. So if you're part of a religion, you are deceived. As a matter of fact, if you were to read the Bible from front to back, let's say read the Bible from Genesis to Malachi, all Thora and Thyoda, Old Testament, major prophet, whatever you want to put them. You will never find the word religion from Genesis to Malachi. It's not there because our people and our creator never gave us a religion. We were never called to be a religion or part of a religion. A religion is worldly. It's from the world. Who gave you religion? Where you got it from? You got it from your rulers and your authorities that are governing your life. You got it from the one you're obeying as masters. You got it from your masters. I know you think you're free because no one beating you with a whip, but you're still a slave because you're a slave here. And if you can be slave here, who have to beat you? Nobody has to beat you. If they can enslave your mind, then you know they don't have to beat you. Okay? So you never receive a religion. So if you're a part of a religion, you are deceived. Now watch this. This one's gonna get you. I'm gonna lose a whole bunch of you now after I say this one. If you're a part of a church, and the very word church means to called out. And you have to ask yourself the question, what are you called out of? You say, well, I'm called out of the world. Really? Are you called out of the world? You operate in the same, you operate under the same government of the world. You operate under the same rulership of the world. You operate on the same religion. Whether you are different in varies, you're still the same. Because you know what? You have the same system of worship. So yes, even if you are a so-called Christian, I don't care what form or garb you worship, whether you worship on Sunday or you worship on Saturday. If you call yourself a Christian, you are under the leadership of this world's government. Because you were never called to be a Christian. So let's go back to the word itself, Christian. Let's start there and then I'm going to go back to the word religion. How many times do you think the word Christian was mentioned in your Bible? Any Bible you're reading, by the way. How many times do you think the word Christian was mentioned in there? Listen, I know I'm only talking to one or two of you, so I'm cool with that. TikTok monitor my page now. I can't reach as many people as I would like to reach on TikTok because they have me on the heavy manners. And I can always tell because I know when I start my TikTok page, it'll shoot up, the numbers, it goes right up like that. And then it just drops down. And right now on TikTok, there's only one person live that is watching me right now on TikTok, where I used to have 60,000 people watching me at one time. They canceled my page so many times. This is maybe my sixth TikTok page now. And they just got me monitored. They don't have me going to the masses. So if you happen to see my TikTok account, I'm telling you, it's the creator who allow you to see it. Now let's talk about Facebook for a minute there. Facebook cut me down to 5,200 followers. And guess what? I can't go past that, 5,200. I looked at other people's pages, they got 1,000, 100. They literally blocked me from having any more followers. So if I want you on my Facebook page to follow me, I have to delete somebody. I have to delete. So if I want to add 10 new subscribers or followers, I have to delete 10 to get 10 more. So I'm blocked. I'm blocked all across the board. I'm blocked. And of course I should be blocked because the highest ultimate power is the one behind all this. I used to think Facebook was behind all this. I used to think the families, the families of the earth, they were the ultimate power working under Satan, deceiving the world. No, I come to understand fully that the creator is behind all of this. He makes good, he makes evil, and he wields it at his will. It's he who is the one that's blinding the eyes of unbelievers. Satan is a tool in the hands of the creator. He cannot do a darn thing without the creator's instructions. Even the devil follows the creator instructions. We were we were brought up to think that the devil's on one side, the creator's on one side, they're fighting for supremacy of the world. It's not true. The creator's in full control. He's the ultimate power. His name is Yahweh. Yeah, that's his name. More on that, go see a ravenous bird on YouTube and look up the true name of the creator and go see it. Go see it for yourself. Go hear the words spoken in the biblical language. I'm not talking about this Greek garbage that they gave us and call it the word of God. They change and add word and translate, literate and translate words. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the true biblical word, the true biblical word of spoken by the Creator through our forefathers before there were multiple language. I'm learning it, man. I'm slow at it, but I'm learning it slowly. Now here is a little piece of Jeremiah 51 in the biblical language. I'm gonna get a little piece. My pronunciation is not that great. I'm still getting there, but it goes something like this. Na lakara babal, abeshbal, kath mordak, habesho gashabea, kato galalea, ke gala galeha, gole matzabon. You see, that is how our language sound before it was confounded and become Babel, confusion at the Tower of Babel. This is the ancient language. This is the language spoken through from the Creator through our ancestors. This is the language that we're going to go back, the pure language, the unadulterated pure language, ladies and gentlemen, where we can understand exactly what the Creator says and how he said it. And if you don't believe it's still around, then you have to ask yourself the question, where did they get the Greek translation from when they translate the Bible? And there's so many Greek translations, they could fill the Empire State Building 6 times. That's how much Greek translation they are. But they can't find the original translation. It is lost. It's lost. It's just like the all the tapes from all the spacewalk from the time they were going to space till now, just up and walk out of the aliens came and got it. They can't find it. It just disappeared. It just gone. No one can tell you where are the videotapes. They can't tell you. All the pictures of the earth that was given to us is made up. And even when they tell you it's made up, the earth is not a globe. We still have the ideology that the earth is a globe. Even when the Creator himself tells you how he laid the foundation, people still don't believe him. So when you look at these things, you have to come back to the truth, because only the truth can set you free. And so when you're set free, you become bold. You become a man on the edge because now you're against the world and the world is against you, and the world has to be against you because the language and the information, the words that you are putting out is going to become a stumbling block to the world. And that's why Facebook stopped me from gaining any more followers. And that's why TikTok blocked me and banned my page so many times. I'm speaking the way I'm speaking. How am I breaking community guidelines? Tell me, somebody. What am I saying to break community guidelines? Have I said anything here thus far that would break community guidelines? So why are they blocking me? But they're not the one. The Creator's the one doing it, because the Creator is the ultimate power. And he does not want this information going to everybody. So if you are here and you're receiving it, is because he chose you. And if you think I'm kidding, go back to the Messiah. What did the Messiah said when he was asked, why do you speak to the people in parables? Now get this. He's speaking to who he was sent to. The lost sheep of Maycha'al, aka Israel. But yet, he spoke to them in parables. And you have to ask the question why. He was asked, why do you do it? He said, in doing so, that they will hear it and not understand it. Seeing it, they will not see, and hearing, they will not understand. Because the message is for those who seek it. Listen, the kingdom has to be sought out, my friends. It has to be put to the test. That's why the Creator says, test me and see. Taste and see that I am good. What do you think taste mean? To test. Test the words. He put out a challenge. The Creator put out a challenge. He said, hey, listen, all these gods y'all are worshiping, let's see if they can declare the end from the beginning. Let's see if they can tell you what's going to happen. He said, I'm telling you in advance what's going to happen. So when it happens, you'll know that I am he. And I can tell you, according to Deuteronomy 29:29, the secret things belongs to us and our children. They're secret. They belongs to us and our children. But that which, what? The secret things belongs to the Creator, sorry. But that which is revealed belongs to us and our children, not to the world. But the secret things that belongs to the Creator, according to Amos chapter 3, tells us that the secret things he gives to his servants, the prophets. So if you're reading the New Testament, you're not gonna find the secrets. Because there's only one prophet in the all of the New Testament, and that's John the Baptist. And John the Baptist came to testify to the word that was coming, the word that was being brought by the Messiah, the Mashiach. So if you want to know the secrets, you have to go to the books that they hinder you from reading. You got to go to the books that they tell you is done away with. You got to go to the books that they tell you is no longer applicable. Because the secret is with the prophets. And there is a prophet among us because it was prophesied that this prophet will come, and his name is the ravenous bird. We have this prophet living among us. See, I'm coming to you live from Madbar, aka Wilderness in the Philippines, Cebu, Philippines. I picked up my whole family. Well, not my whole family, but my wife and my youngest daughter. And we're here now living in the Philippines. Go check out my channel, man. Go check out my channel now, living in the Philippines. Please subscribe. So you get to see how we live down here. Many people think, we're a cult. Maybe they think, oh, they must be a cult. There must be some sex cult, or they're a cult. Look at that. They have cult-like behavior. They pick up themselves and they're going to the why they got to go? Why can't they stay in America? America is the land of our enslavement. It's going to be destroyed from within. It's going to implode from within. This is prophecy, and it's about to happen sometime after 2025. Now, I'm not talking about the end of the world. I'm just talking about prophecies that has been revealed to his servants, the prophets. So the only way we can go off this, and the only way we can say this, is because we have the prophecies. And the prophecies is not for the world. Unbelievers can't understand it. Unbelievers can't understand it, ladies and gentlemen. You won't be able to understand it unless he opened your minds. That's why you have to seek it. If you seek him, you'll find him, because he can still be found. So let's go back to the question I asked you earlier. How many times the word Christian was mentioned in the Bible? And I will tell you, you will never find it in Old Testament from Genesis to Malachi. You will never find it, because no prophet has ever mentioned the name or the word Christian. I know some of you are going to say, well, Jesus didn't come in the Old Testament. That's why they never mention it. But his name was mentioned. His prophecy was mentioned. So why wouldn't you mention his name? And if his name wasn't mentioned in the Old Testament, then how would they know his name in the New Testament? You know what? The angel brought it. The angel brought the name, and the angel told him he shall be called Jesus. Let me tell you a lot of things that angels brought, if you don't know. A lot of angels brought a lot of religion. Did not Muhammad claim that an angel gave him a book in a cave? Did not what's the name of this guy? John Smith talk about an angel giving him a book in a cave? If you look at all the religions, and look at Christianity, they are given these religion from heavenly bodies. That's what brought these religion. And that's why I tell you that if you are in any religion or any form of Christianity or any church, if you go into any church, you are deceived. Because you think Christianity was started by Christians or by the so-called Christ. If you look up the Greek word, man, you got to just look up the Greek and see where these come from. A matter of fact, let me just give you it in a nutshell. What did they call the Christ? What was his name in the Greek Old Testament, the Greek translation? They never called him Jesus. So here's a question. If the Greek translation is the right translation, why didn't they call him the same name that they use in their translation in English? And if the Greek translation is not the right name and it's actually the Jewish translation, why did they not call him the Jewish name in the Greek translation? Don't you see there's a deception going on here? If his true name is Yeshua, if that is his true name, then that should be his name from conception to death and the afterlife. That should be his name regardless of what language or what translation it goes through. His name should remain the same. Translation of a name into another language is an abomination. You notice none of their Greek gods' names are not translated in English. You notice none of the ancient gods' names are translated or transliterated in English. The way it sounds in their original tongue is the same way it sounds in English. The English spelling of the name carries the same sound of the name. It's all about the sounding of the name. Yeshua, Jesus, and Jesus have not the same sound. They're different names, implicating a different person. But they want to say, okay, well, one person can be called 5, 6 names. Yeah, in the English world. But in the ancient world, people never have more than one name. That's why the angel says, his name shall be called Yahshua. And the translation says, for he shall save his people from their sins. That's what the translation says, but that's not really. His name, Yahshua, which translates Yahweh, is salvation. So his name points to the one who is salvation. He himself is not salvation. He's not to be praised nor worshiped. He likened himself as to our brother. And he likened the Father as to our Father. He likened the Creator as our Elohim, our God. Our God. That means we have the same God. We have the same Father. Because we are brothers. And if you don't believe, he was asked the question, your mother and your brothers outside, your sisters, they seek an audience with you. Who is my mother and my brother and my sister? They that do the will of my Father, which is in heaven. Point to the disciples. He understood something you take for granted. So look at the word Christian, you realize Christian was never a word prophesied. It was given through a transliteration of a word. And if you don't take that serious, then go look up the letter J, and you will see that the letter J, its origin begin in the year 1524. Therefore, Jesus could never be the name given by which we must be saved. Now that's hard for some of you. I asked you before how many times you think the word Christian was mentioned in the Bible, and not one of you comment on it. Not, I haven't got a comment yet to see what your thoughts are. So let me tell you, the word Christian was mentioned 3 times in the Bible, and only in the New Testament. 2 times as a reference, and 1 time it says the disciples were called Christians first in Antioch. So that for a long period of time, they were never called Christians. They were called disciples. A disciple is a student. A student seek and learn from the master. So how far from the death of the Messiah they were called Christians? Now you got to look at the timeline from the ascension of the Messiah to the first writing of the gospel. Because people think the story was told right after the death. It was some 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 years, even 100 years later. 100 years later when the first gospel was written. And most people don't realize this, was the book of John was the last gospel written. And they brought the book of John to deify this Jesus, which they call the Christ. If you read Matthew, Mark, and Luke, you will see not one place in Matthew, Mark, or Luke did they ever deify Jesus. Jesus was deified in the book of John. Because they got to make him a deity. They got to make him the sun god. Because he's worshipped. He was created and worshipped as the sun god. That's why he has a halo. Every time in every picture you see around his head, he has a halo. And if you look at, he's always showing 2 fingers like this. These are for the initiated. You see, you wouldn't know. You think this is something. The fish symbol that you see for Christianity, if you look at the history of that, you don't understand the adaptation. You see, the Roman incorporate paganism with Christianity. And it's not even with Christianity, it's paganism with Judaism. That's what they did. They incorporate paganism with Judaism and create Christianity. Or Christianism. Christianism is a combination of paganism and Judaism. That's where you get Christianity. That's where it comes from. It's man-made. It's a religion. And you worship on Sunday and having your worship day on the day of the sun. It's the worship of the sun. Christianity is the worship of the sun. That's why you go to church on Sunday. That's why Sunday is your new day of rest and holy convocation. And you do it because you're celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ. But there's not one prophecy of that. Sunday is in violation of the commandments of God. And we know and understand that any violation of the commandments of God, of Yahweh, is transgression. What is sin? Sin is the transgressions of the law. Whose law? The Creator's law. He said, remember the Sabbath day, the Shabbat day, to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Shabbat of the Lord thy God, of Yahweh himself. On it, in it shall you do no work. You nor your son, nor your manservant, maidservant, cattle, or your strangers that within thy gate. Not your children, right? And then he explained. The Creator don't always explain a command, but this time he chose to explain it. He says, for in 6 days Yahweh, the Lord, made heaven and earth, the sea and all that in them is, and rested on the seventh day, the Shabbat day. Wherefore you must keep it. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Shabbat day and holiday. It's the only day he sanctified, the only day he blessed, the only day he gave us as a covenant, everlasting. Yeah, the Shabbat is a covenant, if you didn't know it. It's a covenant by itself. Here's what the Shabbat also is. It is a sign. You know what a sign does? It leads you to a destination. Guess what? The Shabbat is also a seal. Is sealing you with it. Everyone who keeps the Shabbat, he seals you with it. It's a seal. You know what the Shabbat is also? It's a token. You know what you do with a token? You get a free pass. You get a pass. Once you have a token, you put it in, you get a pass. The token is a pass. It means you're separated as holy unto him. And lastly, the Shabbat is his signature. Just like any creator of any creation always put their signature on their work. Where do you think they get that from? The signature on the work is a mark, sign, seal, and token of the owner of that work. That's why he says, for in 6 days the Lord, Yahweh, made the heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is. He put his signature on his work. And anyone who comes and worship him on that day, anyone who comes and worship him is making a proclamation to the universe that the Creator is your God. It's the only mark he gave us, the only sign of his infinite power. Listen to what he says. He said that you may know that he is creator, higher power that sanctify you. It's a sign and a seal. You can go read that in Torah 2, Exodus 31, verse 12 through 17. It's all over the Bible. I mean, it's all over the Bible. When the Creator make a new heaven and a new earth in Isaiah 66, what do you think he's going to do? Establish his Shabbat. It never goes away. There's no ending to it. It's a covenant. He doesn't break a covenant. You must understand that. You can find that in Psalms 89:34. My covenant will I not break, nor alter the things that gone out of my lips. He doesn't change what he say, ladies and gentlemen. The Creator does not change what he says. He does not break his covenant. So if he made one, it's everlasting. It has no end. If he said it, it's everlasting. It has no end. His words have no end. That's why you still see a rainbow today. You weren't around for the flood, but you see the rainbow. You know why you see the rainbow? Because it's an everlasting covenant. It's a sign. It's a mark. It's a token. It's a seal. It's a covenant that he made with himself and all living creature. He said, when I see it, I will remember my covenant and my promise and my word. Have you seen one? Have you seen a rainbow? And I know that you have a group of people today call themselves the LGBTQ, and sometimes Y, adopt the rainbow as their coalition symbol of approval. Take the covenant of the Creator and make it a covenant of dismay. Hey, I won't touch that any further. The word Christian, the name Christian, was only mentioned 3 times. If it was that which you were supposed to be, called, if it's that which you were supposed to be, it would have been mentioned many more times. What about the word religion? From Genesis to Malachi, they never ever spoke of that word. Now you might say, well, you might have an argument, say, well, Jesus didn't come in the Old Testament, he comes in the New Testament, and that's why the word Christian was mentioned. All right, I give you that. I give you that. Right? But what about the word religion? Okay, the creator never mentioned it. The so-called Jesus never mentioned it. Where did it come from? Who brought it? Who started? You're not called to be a part of a religion. You're called to be a kingdom of priests, a holy nation. That's what you're called to be. And that's why when the Messiah came, he preached the kingdom. You are to be in a kingdom. Now, if you understand kingdom, even from a worldly perspective, what is a kingdom? It's a territory. A kingdom is a territory ruled by a king who is the ultimate sovereign power. His word is law. Whatever he says, that's it. In his kingdom, he has no equal. He is the highest power in his territory, and everybody is subjected to his words, whether he's good, bad, or ugly. That's what a kingdom is. So when you're thinking of a kingdom, of the kingdom of heaven, who is the ultimate authority? Who gets the final word? Whose word is law? Whose word is binding? The king of the universe, Yahweh himself. So if you're going to be a part of this kingdom, you think you can go up against the king? You think you can advise him? You think you can sway him? You think you can change his mind? You think you can make laws that the king, has to obey? That's what people do with Sunday worship, and they think Sunday worship is part of a new covenant. Show me. Which covenant? Not the new covenant. And the new covenant cannot be made in the blood of human beings. And Jesus Christ was surely a human being. We see that. He said, if you look at your own writings, the creator is a spirit. When the Messiah came back from the grave, he says, listen, spirit don't have flesh and blood. When he went back up, when he ascended with flesh and blood. He was telling you something, but you weren't understanding it because you can't accept them now. He said, I have much things to tell you, but you cannot accept them now. I'm hoping you can accept them now today. Ladies and gentlemen, time is running out on you. The world is about to change. The whole structure of the world is about to change. The power the power that rules the world right now is going to change. Everything about your life is going to change. Are you ready? The Creator has marked this time. He has marked this time in history to do his words that are coming true, just as he said it's going to come true. And Babylon is going to be utterly destroyed. And if you think Babylon is destroyed, you have another thing coming. Because Babylon, Medes and the Persian Empire, the Babylonian Empire, the Greek Empire, and the Roman Empire still is alive and well under its leadership, under its governmental world leader. Why do you think they having all this new world order? Why do you think they keep breathing that to you down your throat and putting up all the infrastructure for the right timing to implement? Why do you think they have the World Council of Churches? Why do you think the Pope right now is trying to bring the three major religion under one platform? Muslim, Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. Why do you think they're trying to build it under one platform in one area? Why do you think they have the World Health Organization or the World Health Forum or the World Bank? Everything world or global. Why do you think they're using the word global or global warming? There's no such thing as global warming. But they make it a thing for you so that when the world changes, they got something to blame so they can further control your lives. But all this is done on purpose. All this is done on purpose. It's not a coincidence. The creator is the one doing all these things. He's working in the affair of men. People think the powers that be, the royal families and the secret societies and all these superpower families, they're the one ruling the world. Please. They got more power than God. They have more power than the creator. They have more power than the one who speaks and things happen. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, you'd be a fool or foolish to believe that men have more power than the creator. Show me a man on this world, on this planet, that has more power than the creator. Show me a human being on this planet that won't die at some point in their life. Show me. Show me a human being that won't die. They got you believe in reincarnation. They make you think that when you die, you come back as another person, or you come back as an animal, or you come back as an insect or something. But yet you come back with no memory. You come back with no understanding. Come on, man. It's all lies. They make you think that the earth is billions of years old and that the earth came into existence by itself. They make you unbeliever. They make you believe in science and tell you if it cannot be proven, it's not real. And yet love is real. Can any one of you prove love? Can any one of you measure it? Can any one of you grade it on whatever standard? Can any one of you prove a decision? Okay, that's what love is. It's a decision. Prove it to me. You're going to prove it by what you do. But you can't literally tell me what love is. Or you can't prove love. You can experience it through feelings. You can experience it through a touch. You can experience it through emotions, senses. But you can't prove it. Just like you can't prove life. Prove life to me. You can't prove life. You only can say I'm alive. You only can say something is alive or dead. What is the opposite of life? You can't tell me. The only thing you can say is death. What's the opposite of death? Is life. But do you really understand death? Do you really understand life? Can't prove these things. There's a lot of things that cannot be proven. But you can experience it. But when you look at the things that are created, all the things that are created is proof that there is a creator. You can't have something in existence without something creating it. Like cause and effect. In order to have an effect, you must have a cause. And someone got you believing that the earth, the world has come together on its own over billions of years, and you believe it. An atheist. A man become an atheist because he was bamboozled by religion. He was bamboozled by belief. But yet, even the atheist have a standard by which he measures good and evil. Good and evil are measured on a standard. It's called law. You can't have law without a lawgiver, ladies and gentlemen. So you can choose to believe or not to believe. And that's your choice, and you're well within your rights because you were given that will. You were given that will to choose whether or not to do or not to do, to go or not to go, to sleep or not to sleep, to believe or not to believe. You can choose to lay down and go to sleep, but you have no idea what happened while you're asleep. You have no idea how you rise up in the morning. You have absolutely no idea. All you know is that you raised up in the morning. If you do the statistics right now in the country where you're living, just do a Google search. How many people died in your city today? Just do a Google search. How many people die in your city today? Then go ahead and do a Google search on how many people died in your country today. How many people died in your country today? And if you had the opportunity to go to them and talk to them before their death, do they know they were going to die that day? How many people know they're going to die? Even the one who commits, try to off them own self. How they know they're going to be successful at it? How many people shot themselves or try to off themselves but are not successful at it? You don't know. You don't control death. You certainly can't stop it. You certainly can't delay it. You don't control life. You have absolutely no power over life. You can't control your breathing. Try stop breathing for 5 minutes. Try stop breathing, period. Let's see you live without breathing. Let's see you turn off your breath. Just turn it off. Better yet, try stop your heart from beating and still remain alive. Try stop your blood from flowing and still remain alive. You have no power to do that. You have no control over the sun rising in the east. Try stopping the sun from rising in the east and set in the west. Try stop the air from flowing on the planet. Try it. Try stop the ocean and the wave from flowing. You don't have power. You think you have power. You don't. The ultimate power is the creator who sets everything in motion and everything flows in him, through him, and by him, and for him. Once you understand that the creator is the ultimate power, man, then your life is, you can truly be set free. Money not flowing for you, the creator is behind it. Money is flowing for you, the creator is behind it. You get to live in a house, the creator is behind it. You get to have a family, the creator is behind it. You get to eat, the creator is behind it. Evil's falling upon you, the creator is behind it. Everything that is happening to you, the creator is behind it. Nothing can happen without his permission. Nothing can rise or fall without his permission. The creator is behind everything that happens on this planet. Because his word will be fulfilled just the way he ordained it to. The ultimate power is the creator of the heavens and the earth and everything in them. We who are Maycha'al by birth are the bloodline people of the creator, can trace their lineage through the transatlantic slave trade. You are the bloodline people of the creator. All of this message is directed to you. It's for you. You are his covenant promised. You. It is you. And it's you who is going to bring to the ultimate power on the earth. It is you who is going to inherit the earth. And all the nations that are left after the sword will come through you as they worship our king, the one who is set to put on the throne forever. And his name is Yahushua, the Mashiach, the true Messiah, who is black like you. Not that blonde hair, blue eye, white guy, white guy. The true people of the book are those who can trace their lineage to the Atlantic slave trade, transatlantic slave trade. The Bible is all about you. You are the people. You're the one he have known forever. You're the one he loved. You're the one he has mercy on. You're the one he punished. Everybody else he kills. And if you think he's not going to do some more killing, you got another thing coming. You think this war and these rumors of war is nothing? The Creator is going to wipe the earth. He's going to set it ablaze. I leave you with this. I leave you with the book of Yeshayahu. That's Isaiah chapter 24. I leave you with this, ladies and gentlemen. Many are going to and fro looking for knowledge. The knowledge is right here in the book with his people. I leave you with this. Behold, Yahweh maketh the world empty. That's its why. And maketh it waste, and turn it upside down, and scatter abroad the inhabitants thereof. It shall be like people, so with priests, as with servant, so with masters, as with maid, so with mistress, as with buyer, so with seller, as with lender, so with borrower, as with taker of usury, so with giver of usury to him. The land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled, for Yahweh has spoken this word. Oh, man. Why is this thing here? Good. For Yahweh has spoken this word. It comes out of his mouth. And remember, I told you. Remember that I told you, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever he said, that must come to pass. Watch this now. The land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled, for Yahweh have spoken these words. The earth. So make no mistake, he's not talking about a sector, a geographical sector. He's talking about the earth. The earth mourneth and faded away. The world languished and faded away. The hazy people of the earth languish. The earth, the earth, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Why is he destroying the earth? Here's the reason. They have transgressed his laws, changed his ordinance, and broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore, has a curse devour the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore, the inhabitants of the earth are burnt, and a few man left. Go finish the rest of that on your own. The Creator is burning up this earth. He's creating a new one. Now, don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen. He's not going to destroy the planet and then create a new planet, the earth, just like he did in Genesis chapter 6 when he sent a flood. That's what he meant. But he's not going to do it with a flood. He's going to burn it up. He's going to implode it. He's going to cause famine. Let me show you what's coming. And it's going to come in such an abundance that many are going to, in the word of the Messiah, the Mashiach, listen to this. And Yahushua went out and depart from the temple And his disciples came to him and showed him the building of the temple. And Yahushua said unto them, See he not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be torn down. Now let me just highlight this part here. The disciples were showing the Messiah the temple Herod built. Herod rebuilt the temple. Herod was a Roman emperor, Roman governor, given to be king over our people. And he built the temple, and of course he put the abomination that causes desolation. And he created new high priests, not the true priests, but new high priests and new priests. So they weren't working for Yahweh. They were working for the Roman government. That's why they went to the Roman government to have the Messiah killed. And he died not for the sin of the world, but for the nation. You must understand this. All right, watch this now. In AD 70, the temple was demolished, and not one stone left upon another. Yet today, they're showing you the west wing, the west wall, which they pray to and bow down to and shrug their head and put all type of letters and notes on that wall today and tell you that's the west part of the temple. Then this would be a lie. He said that not one stone will be left. Right now, the true site of the temple is demolished and no one lived there. Where they're telling you is the temple, where they're telling you is Jerusalem, where they're telling you is the holy site. No, the holy site is at Tel Arad. Everywhere they now occupy is not the true site. The true site is desolate. And that's what Yahweh said is going to happen. It was going to be desolate until the time where he rebuilt it. And the only time he's going to rebuild it is when the true people, the true Israelites, let me just put it that way. We're not Israelites. I hate to use it, but just trying to give you understanding. We're not called Israelites. Israelites is a name made up by those people who call themselves Jews, who are living in the land, who are perpetrating as Jews but are not. They're not the true Jews. And I've proved that to you many times. But for those who are joining me for the first time, they couldn't last in the wilderness, in the desert, in Egypt, under taskmaster's whip, 250 years as a slave. No white man can last in the desert as a slave, working sun up to sundown in this heat. Come on. You put a white man in the sun a whole day and see what happened. And I'm talking about intense heat. I'm not talking about breezy. I'm talking about desert. The true Egyptians are black. The true Hebrews are black people. And not every black people are of the bloodline covenant. We're all related as black people. Don't get me wrong. Every black people are related in some way, shape, or form. But the covenant people are those who can trace their lineage through the Atlantic slave trade. And how we know this? Because of Deuteronomy and other texts in the scriptures that pinpoint who the true people of the book are. All right. Their center of worship, which was the temple, where their God reside, they were told it was going to broke down. In other words, they won't be a nation because a nation has to have a government. The nation has to have a deity behind it. And the center of worship, the place where the deity resides, was torn down. And they make you think it's irrelevant today because the creator don't live in temples built by hand because he live in us and we are the temple. You're not reading prophecy, man. You're not reading prophecy. And that's why people are misled to think the Creator lives in you. You think He really could live in you? You're evil all the time. Your hearts are evil all the time. You're always constantly sinning. Always. We're always sinning. We are always sinning in mind, thought, or deeds. The Creator cannot live in a defiled temple. So the minute your mind wander, the minute you lust, the minute you sin, you make the temple unclean. That's why the roke comes and go. It doesn't remain on you. The only man on the planet that the roke remained on was Yahushua. The roke was always with him because he had a divine mission to accomplish. But guess what? When he died, what happened to the roke? The roke left because the roke can't die. That's why when he was on the tree, he yelled, my God, why you forsake me? The roke left. You ever read in Old Testament when you know that the Shekinah glory, when you know that the Creator, sorry, I hate using that word, Shekinah, it's a made up word, when the King of the universe is in the tabernacle, what are the signs to know that He's there? What was the sign? The pillar of cloud by day and the pillar of fire by night. That's how you know He was there. And when He's not there, what happened? The cloud gone, the fire gone. That's when you know He's not there. And how we know this? Because the tabernacle, ladies and gentlemen, was not a stationary building. It was not a stationary unit. It was designed to fold up and move. And when the when the glory of Yahweh left the place, that's when they know they can take out the ark and take all the vessels out and fold up the tent and fold up everything and move out. So the Creator cannot live in you. He cannot, because you are contaminated, filled of evil all the time. The heart is deceitful amongst all the parts of the body. The heart, the mind, is deceitful and evil all the time. The problem with me is that we think we're good people. We do some good things, look at that. We measure our goodness based on the law of God, the law of Yahweh. That's how you measure your goodness. You measure it on the law of Yahweh, don't it? How do you measure it? You say, well, I'm not a bad person. I don't kill. I don't steal. I pay my taxes. I do all these good things, right? Your standard of measurement is based on the law of God, the law of Yahweh. How are you a bad person? That's a bad person. How do you identify a bad person? You identify a bad person from the one who breaks the law of Yahweh. He kill, he steal, he lies, he commit adultery, he do all these things. He's gossiper, he cause dissension. He's just innately bad. But guess what? We're all bad. And you judge yourself off your goodness based upon somebody else's badness. You judge how good you're doing based upon how bad somebody else is doing. You base your worth. Your worth is based upon your material accomplishments. Your money in the bank, your house, your car, your clothes, the way you carry yourself, your education, the type of people you hang out with. Isn't that how you measure? That's why you won't sit with a homeless person, because you classify a homeless person as a bum. Oh, he's a bum. But you never would sit with him and ask him, tell me your story, man. How you got here? You don't really realize that you might just be the encouragement they need. I talked to a guy once. He was coming into a McDonald's. He was weak with alcohol. He was begging me for money. And I said, what do you need the money for, sir? And he said, I need something to eat. I know he don't want anything to eat, so I test him. I said, okay, man, anything on the menu. Anything you want on the menu is yours. And if you want, and buy something you could eat right now and something for later. Then he told me if he was hungry, he would have eaten the tray. He told me, oh no, I don't need McDonald's. I need something over there. I need food over there. And I just get right to the point. I said, listen, man, just stop the bullshit. I would rather you come in here and tell me you need money to buy liquor. You just reek of it. You stink of it. So you're a drunkard. Tell me you want the money to buy the liquor and I'll give it to you right now. And he looked at me and he said, yeah, man, yeah, I want the money to buy liquor. I said, well, you should lead off with that. I said, I know you might think you got to lie to get the money, but I guarantee you, if you tell the truth, you'll make more money. If you go up to anyone and say, I have $20 so I could buy some liquor, I could bet on it that you have a 50% chance of getting that money. Because the person who will give you that money will have enough respect for you to say, at least you're honest. And even if they don't give you the money, they will leave with a different mindset towards you. And they will classify you in a different class of homelessness. They say, this brother was honest with me. And if they don't give you this day, they might look for you the next day and give it to you. So I took a $20 out of my pocket. Even though I knew he was going to buy liquor, I took $20 out of my pocket and I said, I'll give you this $20 on one condition. And he said, what is that? I said, for 5 minutes of your time. I said, we're in the line. It's a long line. I got to wait to get up top there anyway. If you give me 5 minutes of your time, I'll give you the $20. And he said, deal. And we shook hands. And I just started talking to him. Tell me your story, man. How you got here? And he wants the $20. So he walked with me throughout the line. And I got to learn a lot about this man. And I had pity on him. But I wasn't sorry for him. I have pity on him, but I wasn't sorry for him. Right? Because that's not what he needs. The pity I kept to myself. I wasn't sorry for him. He needs encouragement. And what I did is I encouraged him. I wanted him to see that this is not how your story ends. I showed him some practicality. I said, the way you come here and beg me some money is because you thought about it. You thought about it. Wherever you were, wherever you came from, you thought about getting up, coming to McDonald's and begging for money. And because you thought about it and you follow your thoughts became action and you did something about it. And I told him, I respect you for that. And now you're going to get $20. Even though the method you try to use to get it was incorrect, your thought and your action led you here to the point where you can talk to me, and now I can give you $20. I looked at my watch, 5 minutes was over, I gave him the $20. You think he left, right? You think he took $20 and like, all right, man. He stayed with me. And he heard what I had, and I heard what I had to say to him. And I told him, I said, I want you to practice something. I said to him. I want you to practice telling yourself things and doing it. Good things. Say, you know what? I'm not going to smell like this today. I'm not going to wear these clothes today. I'm going to go hustle some money. I'm going to buy me some new clothes. I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to put those clothes on. I want you to tell yourself that, yes, you're addicted to this drink, but you don't have to drink. I want you to tell yourself that you can get a job or you can do some hustling and make some money and make better of yourself. I want you to start telling yourself positive things and believe in those things. And I showed him the example. I said, you told yourself you're going to hustle, and you hustle and you make money. And this is how you've been doing your whole life. However long this got you to this place, This is what you've been doing because this is what you think you have. But I'm telling you that you're more than this. I watched that man turn, ladies and gentlemen. I wish I could see what his life turned out to be today. I'm not saying that the guy was going to turn out and be the best. I'm not saying that he's going to go back. He's not going to go back to his former way of life. But I told you, I plant a seed in him. And though it may not grow in my timing or the time where I see it, or I may not know, but I plant a seed, man. And my grandmother always tell me, and I learned from the good book, that if you plant, you will reap. If you plant and cultivate, you will reap and harvest. And so I just planted a seed. And I planted on good ground. That's at least that's what I'm aiming for. Today I'm planting a seed in your heart. I hope it's on good ground. I hope it's not on the ground where the bird's gonna come get it, get your seed. Because see, every ground that is planted receive the word with joy. Every ground. But someone come, you see, the birds is that person, that doubt, that's gonna come and take away that which is planted in your heart. That person, that job, that lifestyle, something, the birds. And one thing I learned from Jim Rohn, he says, if you chase the birds, you leave the field. You don't have time to chase the birds, man. Let the birds take some of the seed. You stay solid in the seeds that's going to change your life and change your family's life and set you up and guarantee you eternal life. I hope you're not the seed that's planted by the wayside, you know, where moth will rot and just. Sorry, I hope you're not the seed that planted by the thorns, where riches and the pressures of this world just take so much of your time that you're so focused in making money, so focused in living and maintaining a lifestyle, and you have no time for yourself. You have no time to enjoy the quality of your life, your family, your wife, your husband, spouse, friends. You know, the Heavenly Father know what you need of even before you ask. He's going to take care of you, man. And that's something you have to understand. He will give you the ideas. He will put the right thing in your mind. As a matter of fact, how many of you really pray and ask Yahweh for what you should do next? What should I do? How many of you ask for help? I ask Yahweh for help. Help me. Help me in this. Show me. Lead me on the right path. How many of you ask Yahweh to close every door that will take you away from him? I ask. And so when I see things, when I put effort into things, trying to make something work, and it doesn't happen, I give glory to Yahweh. And look for the next thing. And then I put my all in that. And I look for it and pray for signs that I should go on or don't go on. Because you can spend your whole life and put your whole life into things that just doesn't matter. I hope you're not the seed that is fell amongst rocks. You know, you receive the word and you're happy to hear this. But you're just waiting for the next word and waiting for the next word and waiting for the next word. But you never take root. You never grow. You've never repented. What's the sense of hearing the word, man? Go ahead and live your life. Go ahead and just go do the things. Go get a bucket list and go empty the bucket. Because you're wasting your life anyway. And all the things, might as well live the rest of your life happy within yourself. Because you're going to be destroyed. Destruction is your end. So might as well enjoy. Why live your life miserable and then at the end destructions? Man, live your life. Do what you want. Go where you want. No limit. Just go do what you got to do. Like Jay-Z said, do as thou wilt. You know, he get that from Aleister Crowley, by the way. The devil worshiper, yeah. Do as you will. because you're going to be destroyed anyway. At least enjoy the little bit of life you have left. As for me and my house, man, we're going to serve Yahweh. I'll give up everything, man. I've done it. Man, I've given up business, house, cars, family, grandchildren to position myself where he commanded me to go. And that's why I'm now living in the Philippines. Because this is where he wanted me. He wanted me in the Philippines, in Cebu, where he's going to nourish us and make us in the nation when he start destroying this power structure of this world, which he's going to do. Daniel chapter 2 is a whole prophecy on that. We're living in that time right now. So to continue, the temple was destroyed. And now what's happening? Verse 3, Matthew 24 and verse 3, the sign of the end of age. You know, this is the sign of the end of the age, not the end of the world, the end of the age. We're coming up on a new age. Here's a sign. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, his disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of your coming and the end of the world? The end of the world. The end of the age, the time of your coming, the signs of the coming, and the end of the world. And he says, first thing he says, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying that I am he. I am the Christ, and shall deceive many. The very word, the very name Jesus is a deception. The deception is the name Jesus. The deception itself. Because you have to remember, at the time, the true Messiah is not some blonde hair, blonde hair, blue eyes, white man. In the time of this happening, the true Messiah is a black man. So this Jesus is the deception that was to come. It's crazy to believe that. It's crazy to think that, but that's the truth. And look at almost all the deceivers who come saying they're Jesus Christ. Look at all the deceivers. A very few blacks, but majority white and Asian people who come saying that they're Jesus Christ, and how much they're deceived. It's not done yet. There's more to come. You're going to see a lot of black Jesus rising up too. Watch this now. And you shall hear of war and rumors of war. See to it that you're not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So all the wars and the rumors of war is not what's gonna trigger the end, but they are wars. How many wars fought since the time of the Messiah till today? You're gonna hear of war. We got World War I, World War II, all types of wars, civil wars. There's many more to come. China's water supply is being dried up. Who do you think doing that? All the money and technology that they have, they still got no power. Their water is drying up. What do you think is going to happen when their water dry up? They're going to have to get it from somebody. You don't think they're going to be war? Why do you think they're building so much warships and planes and stuff and mass producing their military? Why do you think they're doing that? They're going to invade some places. They're going to do some things. There will be wars and rumors of war. When the power structure of the world, the head power structure of the world, which is America, which is Washington, when it implodes, what do you think is going to happen? America's going to set on edge. There will be wars and rumors of wars. But he said, see to it that you are not troubled, for the end is not yet. That's not what's going to trigger the end. No atomic bomb, atomic energy. Bob Marley said it. No atomic energy is going to trigger the end of the age. No. Watch this now. Verse 7. Watch this now. For nation shall rise against nations, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famine and pestilence and earthquake in divers places. Ladies and gentlemen, how many kingdoms of the world are there today? How many nations of the world that are left? Nation will rise against nation. When you see um, 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 Ukraine and Russia, that's nation against nation. You're going to see more of that happening, ladies and gentlemen. It's prophesied. It's going to happen. Nation shall rise against nation. Right now, uh, 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 Israel is bombing Iraq and these places. The Israeli president wants to annihilate some of these people, drive them into extinction. What do you think is going to happen? More of that's going to happen. Nation will rise against nation. It's going to happen. It's going to happen even more quicker, like this. And that's why they say it's going to trigger World War II. Nations going to rise against nation. World War III, sorry. Kingdoms against kingdom. It's going to happen. But watch this part. And there shall be famine and pestilence and earthquake in diverse places. Famine? What caused famine? Lack of food, lack of water, lack of resources. A famine for money. What's happening? Where all the money? You know, America, Obama print more money in his presidency than any other time in our history. What do you think is going to happen when you're printing money and you're just printing money out of yin yang? What do you think is going to happen? You're going to drive up costs, inflation. Why do you think they predict the black family will be penniless by the year 2050? They said 2050. By year 2050, the black family will be penniless. I'm here to tell you, I don't believe it's going to be that long. The wealth of the black family will be zero. Now, who can predict that? Who can predict that? How can you predict? How can you predict the wealth of the black family, of a whole ethnicity? How can you predict that? You got to be behind it. How can you predict, ladies and gentlemen, a pandemic? Nobody's asking these questions. Nobody's asking these questions. Oh my goodness, somebody. Okay, I need to call somebody. But how can you predict a pandemic? They're telling you that one is coming in 2025. Are you prepared? Have you heard of the SARS virus? They're telling you it's coming in 2025. Did not Fauci said that Donald Trump would have to deal with a pandemic in his presidency? How did Fauci know that Donald Trump would be the next president? How did Fauci know that there would be a pandemic in the presidency of Donald Trump? Y'all voting, thinking y'all doing something. Y'all not doing nothing, man. It's just part of the gimmick. You vote left, you vote right, you're still voting for the same power structure. No bird can fly in one wing, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all focusing on the bird, left wing, right wing, independent, liberals, etc. Nobody's looking at the bird. Who is the bird that controls the wings? And so you're put at odds against each other. White against black, Muslims against Christianity. You're put at odds so you can rub up against each other. It's thesis and antithesis comes. How you say it again? Am I saying it right? Thesis, antithesis comes synthesis. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but you get what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? You rub the two together and then you create a new thing. That's how you create a new world order. You rub the two together And when you rub them out in that, you come in. You create the problem and you create the solution. That's how you do it. That's how you control the masses. That's how you control the people. You create the problem and then you give the solution. You create the lock, but you create the you create you give the information to destroy the lock, and then you come with the key. You create the bulletproof vest to stop the bullet, but then you create a bullet that can go through the vest. That's how it works, ladies and gentlemen. You create your own competition. That's how you stay in business. You control both sides. So a famine is coming, pestilence, and earthquake. Earthquake like you've never seen it before. Hurricanes, tornadoes. What? What? Like you've never seen it before. And guess who's going to be sending some of these things? We over here who are singing and shouting and praising Yahweh. Just like the walls of Jericho. When we make a shout, shit's going to happen. Because that commandment we receive from Yahweh. Watch this now. Verse 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you and be afflicted. We see this. The disciples, they have that. And they be hated from all nations for his name's sake. We saw that. Verse 10. Then shall many be offended and betray one another and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. Are we seeing that in our day today? The Benny Hinn, the TD Jakes, and the Crestflow Dollars, and the Joel Osteen, and all the different churches that are springing up who are deceiving masses of people. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. What's iniquities? That's lawlessness. Because the law of Yahweh will be set aside. You nullify the law of Yahweh for the sake of your traditions. The law of the Creator will be set aside for traditions. This is why you see many things that are being happening today that wouldn't be happening in my time when I was growing up, the 70s, 80s, that are happening now in this millennia. Iniquities. The law of Yahweh will be set aside, and iniquities shall abound, and the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure it till the end shall be saved. And the gospel of the kingdom shall be preached into all the world for a witness against all nations, and then shall the end come. So what's going to trigger the end? Not war, not rumors of war, not pestilence, not earthquake, not nations that rise against nation. What's going to trigger the end? The gospel of the kingdom is going to be preached to all the nations. Who are the kingdom? We, Maycha'al. We are the kingdom. And we're going to be, the world's going to see the true people of the Creator rising. Everybody's going to know. And when that time comes, we're going to go back and retrieve the lands that was promised to us by a covenant. And we're not going with sword to fight no war. We're going with our voices to sing before Yahweh. And he's going to devastate these people. And he's going to put us back in our place. And we're going to set up his tabernacle. Well, we're going to set it up here in the wilderness because it's going to happen here in the wilderness. And then we're going to go over there and we're going to build a city over there. And when we build a city, and when everything is set up, the Messiah is going to come back and reign forevermore. You think you're going to heaven, not doubt it. You're not going to heaven. Every religion is taking you to heaven. You're not going to heaven. You weren't never meant to be in heaven. You were not made to be in heaven. No, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to be right here on earth. When you come back from death, you're going to be right here. And that's why we pray, your kingdom come and your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. It's right here you're going to be. But he's going to destroy the power structure of this world. He's going to burn up their cities and kill off the inhabitants. And he's going to only leave a few. And some of you who are not of the bloodline will be saved. You're going to be saved if you follow Isaiah 56. Isaiah 56 is your salvation, is what going to lead you to your salvation, which is Yahweh. He gave specific instruction in Isaiah 56 of how you're going to be saved if you're not of the bloodline. It's not no blood on a cross. It's not nobody on a cross. That whole cross salvation or cross covenant is in violation of his covenant. It's in transgression because no human being can die for sin. Sins are forgiven when Yahweh chooses to do it. Sins are forgiven and compassion is given when he chooses to do it. And you choose to do it when you obey his commands. That's how you get your sins forgiven. When you obey his commands, he will have mercy on you. All right. I am done. That's all I have for you. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys a lot. It's now 11:03 here. 11:03 is probably 12 o'clock where you are, or probably some other time. I appreciate you guys a lot. Go check out The Ravenous Bird, because come 2025, March of 2025, it's a turning point of a new Jubilee cycle. There will be a full moon sometime in March. Look out for it. You're close by. You don't have to wait 50 years to figure out what I'm saying, if what I'm saying is true. Sometime in March, there will be a full moon, a blood moon. After that, that's a sign given by Yahweh, prophesying his word after this Jubilee cycle. And then after that, he's going to do some things. He's going to devastate some things. So come 2025, 26, 27, you're going to see some things. I'm praying that you are in the wilderness so you would not be partakers of her plague. Read Revelation 18, please. Come out of her, my people. There will be no million man march. There will be no mass exodus. It's one from a city and two from a family. One by one. You must save yourself. Save yourself. You have to do it, and he will guide you on how to do it. All right. For that, anyone who is interested, DM me, and I'll give you some instructions. However, go and watch The Ravenous Bird. The Ravenous Bird on YouTube. Go and watch The Ravenous Bird on YouTube and look up True Name of the Creator. Then watch that whole, I think it's 3 or 4 series. Watch that. And they're not long. They might be 39 minutes. I think the longest one is 39 minutes. Watch Brought by Ships. This is very important. Brought by Ships. And then watch Leave on Wings. It's important. And then watch the other videos. But these 3 videos I want you to watch. Watch the True Name of the True Name of the Creator, Brought by Ships, and Leave on Wings. All right. Peace. Until next time. Love you guys. It's Maycha'al Ban Aaron of Maycha'al. Shalom.